Hello everyone, Onlydraven here again, and today we're doing another tutorial in Minecraft Sky Factory 4. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make and use the Plant Interactor, which is an industrial foregoing block that is a great use of how to automate the harvesting of different plants and crops that you have, while increasing the amount of seeds you have to farm with. Now, if you find this video helpful and you like it, please be sure to click like, but most importantly, please remember to hit that subscribe button. You can see all my videos and tutorials as they come out. All right, so a couple things we're going to need for this. First is our plant interactor, and for that, we're going to use 2 gold gears, a redstone, a machine case, 3 iron hose, and 2 pieces of plastic. Now, if you're not familiar with how to make plastic, it's not super complicated, but there's a few steps. I will link a tutorial on how to do that down in the description of this video. You're also going to need some range add-ons. Range add-ons are what increase the distance that this machine will work. So a tier 1 range add-on is 6 cobblestone, 2 plastic, and a glass pane. Now the range add-ons, as you can see up here, there are multiple of them, and they go all the way up to 12, which is what we're going to use today. The recipe for all of these is the same. It's the 2 plastic, glass pane of any color, and then it'll take 6 items, cobblestone being the first, going up to lapis, iron, so on, all the way up to emerald, which is the one we're going to use today. All right, so I built ourselves a little tiny crop area over here. Your machine is going to need a power source, so I'm using just a creative energy battery, which is something only in creative. Any RF source will work. If you have a reactor, if you've got different types of generators, solar, any RF source you have will work to run this machine. I've also put a few sprinklers down just to help speed up the process. We're going to go ahead and grab all those things we were just talking about. That, this guy, that guy, and that guy. Okay. So when placing down your plant interactor, it will plant facing away from you. So you want to be behind it, but when you set it down, it faces the opposite direction. Right now I have it facing my farm. I'm going here and I'm going to pause that for just a moment. You see it needs RF. Now, by placing a range add-on up here, it's going to increase the range of this block to 1. Now, if you have a large farm, 1's not going to cut it. So you can go in and you can put in a range add-on of 12 instead. Now, put a range add-on of 12 instead, and now it will go 12 blocks away, which will be more than enough to cover our little farm here. Go ahead and turn that back on. Now, once this starts running, it's going to harvest items for us. So we're going to need a place for those to go. So I'm putting an item extraction cable on the side and a chest. You, of course, can have this running into any storage system you'd like. For this tutorial, I'm just having them go over this chest. And then what I have here as well is a regular seed and an inferium seed. That's what we're going to plant today. So this is all set up. At this point, it's pretty much ready to go. The sprinklers are going to help increase the speed of the growth of these crops. See a 14% there, and my inferium seed there. We'll give it a minute or two to reach all the way up to high growth, and then it's going to harvest it automatically. Now, if you've watched any of my other farming automations or my streams, you'll know that traditionally for farming, I use the harvester. And in many ways, the harvester is still a better item to use. And that's because the harvester has the option to harvest multiple crops at one time. Oop, there you go. So you saw that it just harvested that. The wheat fell to the floor. But it also pulled one in there. So it's going to continue to harvest, but it's only going to harvest one plant at a time. So if you have a lot of crops in the range of this, the amount of essence or plant that you're gathering is going to be a little slow. And in those situations, that's where I recommend using a harvester, which crop a whole field at one time. But the perk of the plant interactor over the harvester is that the harvester, when it harvests the crops, does not generate new seeds. It'll give you whatever that crop is, but new seeds are not made. In the early part of the game, when resources are a little bit more scarce, especially when you're looking at things like inferium and the different mystical agriculture, making multiple seeds is very difficult. So using a plant interactor gives you a chance that each time it harvests, that it also harvests a seed of that type. Not always guaranteed, but there is a chance that it will do so. It also will only pull one item from that. So if it drops 2 wheat or something of that nature, it'll only pick up the one. You may want to use an item collector here to pick up anything else, crops that are left out. But the most important thing is when it does it, it has a chance of producing those seeds. And the seeds can be everything early in the game. And again, it can and it cannot. It's just purely up to the chance. And again, it is a relatively slow block. As you can see, it's not going very, very fast. And that could be a bit of an issue, depending on how much you need your crops and how quickly you need the products. So in that situation, I would recommend, again, down here, double down here. So if you have multiple down, the big thing you want to remember is that you're going to want extra seeds. So that's going to help you out a lot. But then once you have enough of the seeds, you may want to have maybe a second farm, or you want to swap out your interactor for a harvester. Oh, and it just went ahead and it harvested our wheat again. As you can see, it produced a seed here. Right? Now, if we look inside, you'll see there's a seed. So when it's harvesting it, in this last situation, it produced 2. Produced 2 wheat and 2 seeds. Now, it's only going to pull 1 of each in here. Anything else is just going to hit the ground. Over here, you can see we have an inferium. So it harvested that, and there's 1 inside. It produced 2. That's why 1 hit the ground. So again, looking at this, you might be like, wow, that's a big mess. But an item collector sitting on top, facing this outward, and gathering everything else and feeding into this chest would pick up all of your extra products. But more importantly, it's going to pull your seeds and such inside. And to get additional inferium seeds earlier on is a huge perk. All right. Okay, so that's pretty much all that's involved with the Plant Interactor. Again, in most situations, I'm still going to recommend using a harvester, but when you need those extra seeds early in the game, the Plant Interactor is going to help you produce those a lot faster than potentially having to build them yourself, going out and gathering the materials, especially some of the harder to make mystical agriculture. Right. Well, if you have any questions about this tutorial or any of my tutorials, please be sure to put those down in the description, and I will do my best to get back with you as quickly as I can, as well as if you have any recommendations or suggestions for other tutorials you'd like to see in Sky Factory 4. I'm always looking for new ideas. You can also go to my website, Onlydraven.com, and there at the bottom of the homepage is a place you can submit questions, feedback, or suggestions via email. While you're there, you'll also find my streaming schedule, PC specs, links to all my tutorials and videos, social media accounts, and the ODG store where you can get some cool OnlydravenGaming merchandise. If that's something you're interested in, I do recommend checking out the website. A lot of great resources there. All right, well, that is going to do us for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.